So without further ado, please welcome Alexandra Dublanche to the stage.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I just arrived from the airport, a little bit tired, but I will do my best to tell you a little bit about what we learned from the Olympics and also what can LA expect. So thank you first, Matthew, for inviting us, for inviting the Paris region together with Business France. So I represent the Paris region. Business France is a national entity. And I want to tell you a little bit about what we learned from the Paris Olympics and Paralympics, share a few reflections, not just about what we learned for France, but also for all cities that believe major events can drive transformation. So the Olympics and Paralympic Games are far more than the world's greatest sporting competition. They are a catalyst that brings people together around ambitious projects and leaves a legacy that can improve everyday life for generations. This was our main focus, how we leave a legacy for people living there, and also how to welcome tourists and everybody, but really what will stay after the Games for people living in the Paris region. And so back in 2018, the Paris region, which is the second largest public supporter of the Games, set out a bold roadmap focused on sustainable infrastructure, carbon neutrality, renewable energy, reducing food waste, and low-carbon mobility. And our goal was clear. It was not just to host the Games, but to use them as a chance, a lever to transform our region into a more connected, resilient and inclusive ecosystem. And we didn't just dream of a Green Games, we made it real. So CO2 emissions were reduced by more than 50% compared to previous Games. Every venue was 100% accessible by public transportation. I know it's a challenge for LA. We welcomed over 7 million visitors with 12 million tickets sold and 3 million for the Paralympic Games, and I think it was a record also. And so welcoming many people with disabilities, setting a new benchmark for inclusive tourism. And yes, for a few weeks, we even managed to make Parisians love public transportation and be almost as welcoming as Americans. The Games also became a real innovation lab, supporting 130 investment projects from startups from all around the world, like Natural Grass, pioneers in hybrid turf. Actually, it's a French startup. Wintix, using AI video analytics to support crowd safety. But innovation went far beyond sport. From clean mobility to smart hospitality, from AI-driven logistics to sustainable construction, the Games really became a full-scale test bed for the city of the future. And we all know here that legacy is not about buildings, it's really about purpose, and this is a reason why we invested heavily in long-term transformation. A few examples. 2,600 sport facilities were upgraded or built, included more than 100 swimming pools and the new Olympic aquatic centers. You know that to make it sustainable, we didn't build so many new Olympic facilities, but we built many training sport infrastructures that stay for people living there. 95% of train stations in the region were made accessible for people with disabilities. New metro lines, like the extension of the Line 14, which now connects central Paris to Orly Airport in just 25 minutes. And also the athletes village has been now transformed in about 3,000 housing units, co-working spaces, offices, in one of our most underprivileged neighborhoods, turning a temporary success into lasting value. This was very important for us. Paris region is the first economic region in Europe, but it's also a very diverse region. And most of the investment of the Olympics were made in very underprivileged areas, and this will stay for people living there. Paris 2024 also created opportunities for global cooperation. Choose Paris region, which is the promotion agency of the Paris region, welcomed more than 500 CEOs and international investors during the Games. And about 20% of our foreign investment projects in 2024 came from those Olympic connections. But behind all these numbers, there is a story. This kind of story, like children in Seine-Saint-Denis, which is this underprivileged area. Children of this area now are learning to swim in pools built for the Games. Since the Games, we also had 72,000 new sport licenses that have been issued, proof of a strong social impact. And that's legacy for us, not only medals, but milestones in people's lives. Paris 2024 also became a magnet for international cooperation. And we are very proud that companies from all over the world contributed to this story. We had many companies coming from the US, staying now also in Paris region for their development. Like one company coming from the US with technology to help clean the Seine River. Thermo Fisher from the US also with sports health laboratories. We had Ecosem from Ireland with low-carbon cement. Ottobock from Germany with equipment for para-athletes. And also Hydrolift ferries from Norway with zero-emission passenger boats. So the Games showed that sustainability and competitiveness can go hand in hand, and of course that innovation knows no borders. Altogether, the Paris Games created nearly 1,500 jobs across construction, tourism, catering, and services. And since Paris 2024, the Paris region has continued to nurture this momentum by supporting, for example, sport tech. And I knew there are some examples here, 12 companies coming from France in global and half of them from Paris region. So Sport Tech at Europe's major innovation fair, Vivatech, that you may know, focusing on 4 key priorities: strengthening inclusivity in sports, using technology to enhance sports performance and the athlete experience, embedding sports practices in an environmentally responsible framework, and also, finally, improving the organization of major sporting events. I will give you some examples of these companies. For instance, we have a company that offers an AI solution capable of delivering personalized predictions, recommendations, and insights for elite athletes, covering training management, nutrition, recovery, and sleep optimization. We have another one, an onboard sensor device for high-level sports, usable on water and in the mountains, designed to collect and transmit real-time data to improve both athlete training and the spectator experience during live sports events. Last example, a company called Immersive that offers an augmented reality solution allowing fans at a sporting event to access real-time stats and animations, providing them with an enhanced and immersive viewing experience. Looking ahead, our challenge now, because we are still, of course, working on it and on this legacy of the Games, our challenge is to turn this momentum into long-term progress. Tourism numbers are already encouraging. You may know that Paris region is already the first touristic region in the world, but we saw a big increase after the Games, and at the beginning of the year, it's almost plus 10% of tourists, many Americans, and we are on track to reach 50 million by year's end, which was our tourist numbers before COVID. So yes, we are proud of what the Paris team achieved, but more than that, we are very excited to hand over the baton to Los Angeles, because from the Seine River to Santa Monica, I believe we share the same belief that the Olympic flame can light more than stadiums. It can light hope, it can light inclusion and innovation. And LA has everything it takes: talent, creativity, energy, and a bold vision for sustainability. And we are very eager to learn from you as you write the next Olympic chapter. So we hope to keep sharing experiences, building bridges between our ecosystems, and inspiring new forms of collaboration. Paris 2024 proved that the Games can be more than a 2 weeks celebration. They can be a decade-long transformation. And now it's your turn, LA. Take the flame, make it yours, and carry it further. Together, we can show that the Olympic spirit is not only about competition, it's about collaboration, creativity, and courage. And so from Paris to LA, we pass not only the torch, but a promise that through sport, innovation, and inclusion, we can make our cities and our societies better places to live. Thank you very much. Merci, and see you in 2028.